Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. It is Bruce Jordan, the Michael Jordan Hotels, and this episode is sponsored by Click Connect. Come join me in March over at the Click Connect conference, where the California Lodge and Investment Conference is going to be live and in effect, and we're going to review everything and talk about everything about investments in the hotel industry. We got Michael in the house. What's going on, man? You're
Hey,
all over the place. He's a social media superstar. Let me tell you, I gotta read his playbook sometimes. Like I ask everybody, how did you get started in this business?
um, so I fell into this business by mistake. My first job, I was a dishwasher at a
Nice.
restaurant. It was a high school job, a couple hours after school, a couple of days on the weekends, and I signed up at FIU to study hospitality. I figured I'll take a intro to hospitality course, easy elective. I'm working in the industry. I took that one class, and fast forward 20 years, I'm still here. Yeah.
I thought he said I took that one class and failed it. Perfect, perfect. Today we're gonna be talking about front office manager, how to hire a front office manager, what to look out for, and some of the things that you need to have in a front office manager. Now, tell me about your career at the front office.
So I started in front office through the Hilton Garden Inn brand. I was a part of the Hilton Garden Inn, two different properties for a couple years. Then from there, I went to a full service Hilton, big management company, Miami Beach, pre-opening position. So that was nice. I was there for a couple years. That GM went to another property, followed him over. Then I went and worked for a boutique hotel company called SBE. I was a front office manager at the historic Raleigh hotel. At that time, it was owned by Tommy Hilfiger, so it was like all the cool parties, Art Basels, New Year's. So that was a fun job. From there, I got promoted to become the pre-opening front office manager at the SLS Brickell. So that was another fun job. Pre-opening experience, hiring, training. Our grand opening party, we had Boy George perform on the pool deck.
Oh man.
So that was definitely a heck of a job. I love that company, love that hotel. It was so much fun. That was in the heart of Brickell, down in the financial district in Miami. And that was my last front office manager job. From there, I became a director of rooms for the Standard brand. I was at the Standard. I worked at the Conrad in Brickell. Then I went back to the beach to work for a small boutique company called Como Hotels, COMO. I was director of rooms there in the middle of the pandemic. So I went through the whole shutdown, city closed,
Oh wow.
reopening, rehiring. And then in 2021, I started my current role, went back, opened up another hotel. So hiring in the middle of pandemic, that's something that they don't prepare you for in school and life,
Yeah.
supply chain shortages, dealing with all that, opening two hotels at the same time. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So
That's right.
here I am.
So you already need a hotel open. You know who to call. What are some of the things that you're looking for in a front office manager, especially like in the interview process?
So front office manager for me, I look for personality first. I like to hire off personality, train skill. So many different hospitality companies, hotel companies, so many different PMS. They all do the same basic functions, but personality you can't teach. I prefer someone who's native to the area, someone who knows the local area, because front office is going to get 80 to 90% of those questions at the front desk. Where's the best coffee shop, best pizza in town? So I like someone that knows the area, someone that's really ingrained themselves in the culture of the area. You have to, as a front office manager, you need to have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in town. You need to go out, explore, talk to your vendors, talk to your tours. So many companies out there, they'll bring you, have you try their restaurant for free just so that you could talk about it to the guest. When I was a front office manager, I was the first one to milk that. I was going on every tour, trying out every restaurant, going to every bar. Just so I could go back. I was the historian, they would call me, at my hotels. So for me, front office is my passion. That's what I grew up in this industry. So having those interactions with the guests, really learning about those guests. Now with social media, it makes it so much easier to research your guests. You should know, when your guests are coming, who are they? What are they celebrating? You should have sent that pre-arrival email. Or celebrating a birthday, light bulb goes off. Have a welcome amenity in the room. Celebrating an anniversary, light bulb. light bulb moments. That's the fun of that job. It's for me, it's probably my favorite department in the hotel.
Nice, nice. One of the things that I tell everybody, if you really want to know what's going on in your hotel, work the front desk.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, especially when I'm going into these properties and I'm turning them around, one of the number one thing I see with the front desk is they don't know how to communicate effectively with other departments. So what are some of the things that you do to make sure that communication is flowing and everybody's in sync?
Ensuring we have a strong shift report. At the end of each shift, that front office should be. I remember when I first started, it was the red book at the front desk where
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
write it in, and I was ahead of my time. I would type it in Microsoft Word, cut it out, and tape it into the red book so everyone could understand what I was writing. But now with technology, guest surveys, all these different types of software, you're able to communicate everything. WhatsApp, chats,
Mhm.
text messages, everything is instant now. And the guest, the longer it takes, the bigger these issues become. So I think with technology now, the front office, the key is getting the resolution quick and following up with that guest, because if you solve an issue for a guest but you don't follow up and make sure that that guest is happy, then you might as well not have done anything. It's
Mhm.
always following up with that guest and closing the loop.
Nice, nice. You said shift reports. So what are some of the things you usually put inside your shift reports?
So my shift reports will put, how many arrivals we have left in the day, how many rooms are still checking out, do we have any late checkouts, do we have any events going on at the property, what rate are we selling at today, where are we sitting for the month on our guest service scores, do we have anything to pass on to the next shift? Does the next shift have anything to follow up on? So this is something that any department in the hotel could be able to print out and see a snapshot of what's going on in the day for the day of the hotel.
Nice, nice. Now you said you're looking for personality, but what happens when personality doesn't match as tech? Like these systems are coming much more advanced, and some people feel like they got to be coders just to get through some of these PMS systems.
I mean, honestly, in a front office, in a leadership role, it's more about inspiring your team.
Mhm.
Um, you know, if you're not strong in tech, you better make sure your front desk agents are very strong when it comes to the technical side, and you should be able to audit your team and understand what's going on. You don't have to understand all the nooks and crannies, but you better make sure that what you're lacking in tech, you have someone that's really going to be your right hand and understand that portion for you.
Nice, nice. What are some other things that you're looking for in a front office manager, especially during the interview process?
Multitasking.
Mhm.
Do they have experience multitasking? Doesn't need to be hotel experience front desk. There's a lot of attributes and traits that are transferable from other industries, or perfect companies I look for: Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Cheesecake Factory. Like for me, some of the best hires have been the hostess or the host at a Cheesecake Factory. Like
Mhm.
you go in there and it's this big spaceship, all these different monitors, and they're managing 40, 50 people at a time. Or Starbucks, you can work a drive-through, talk to the guest, and heat up a sandwich at the same time. Front desk is all about multitasking. You have a guest in front of you that wants to check in. You're getting phone calls,
Yes, sir.
housekeeping, bringing the due outs. Engineering is asking questions about something wrong in the room. Food and beverage is asking you to reopen the folio so they could make a charge to the room. And then you have to remember while you're doing all this, go back to F&B, make sure they charge it, close out that bill. Just a lot of follow up, a lot of multitasking.
Nice, nice. Man, listen, I remember I when I was working the front desk, it was crazy. But when I was looking at these resumes, I noticed that I kept getting the same type of front desk agent that wouldn't do well in a luxury setting. Like they didn't have the skill set to do well in a luxury setting. So before when I first came on board, I noticed the first department that was all out of whack and all crazy was front desk because they were hiring them, they wouldn't train them, they didn't have confidence because they didn't know half the time they didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't know how to engage with the guests, and most importantly, like I already talked about, is communication. How do you teach customer engagement
Um,
for the front desk?
Yeah, I know a lot of the times front desk agents, they hated it when I was front office manager because I loved the role playing.
Yeah.
All right, the lobby's dead. Let's practice. How do we talk to guests? What's a guest just getting off, walking into the front door. They're rolling in luggage. They're holding their suitcase. What do we say to the guests? You don't say checking in. It's like no kidding. Of course they're checking in.
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome to whatever hotel it is you're working at, how may I assist you? Or, just anticipating the guest needs, you understand the guest is coming in off a late flight, probably if you're night audit, they're checking in at 2 in the morning. Before that guest goes to their room, ask them if they need a wake up call, anticipating the guest needs, seeing what they need, and, giving it to them before they even realize they need it.
Nice, nice. And this is going to be for people that's applying or looking to get hired. You've seen a lot of resumes. Like you go through a lot of resumes. Is there one thing that's on a person's resume that is like a definite automatically stamped denied? I can't do it.
Oh yeah, you want to work at a hotel and you can't work past 5 o'clock. Don't want to work weekend, holidays. I'm not sure I have a trip planned. It's a hotel. Once that door opens, when you open that hotel, barring there's no emergency or natural disaster, the hotel doesn't close.
Yeah.
It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not saying you have to work 24 hours a day, but at least have, some sort of solid availability. If you can work nights, that's great. But are you available to work 5, 6 nights? Not saying you're going to work 6 days a week, but, give the manager, some freedom to make their schedule. At the end of the day, it's a business. It has to run. So having some options, for the manager to work with is definite. If I see, an availability where, you can't come in at 7 a.m. to start the day, or you could come in at 9, but you can't work past 3 o'clock or, things like that, especially for a full-time role, probably not going to make it far in the interview process. Part-time roles, we're pretty flexible at that. I think with, especially, what I see with, students, I teach on the side also. So, seeing what students want, what students need, being flexible with that as well is a big key. It's more than just a paycheck now.
Of course.
Meeting your employees halfway, if you meet them halfway, they're going to meet you halfway. It's a give and take. You take care of them, like Mr. Marriott says, you take care of your employees will take care of your guests, same concept.
Nice, nice. Listen, that's all the questions that I had. How can everybody get in touch with you?
Best way to reach me would be LinkedIn, linkedin.com/Mychal Hotels. My name, it's what I do.
All right, perfect, perfect. And thank you for joining us for another episode. This is Bruce Jordan, the Mychal Jordan Hotels, signing out. Hey, what's going on? It's Bruce Jordan, the hotel revenue expert. I just want to take a quick second to thank you for watching this video. If you could just do us a big favor and just subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more videos like this, more information, great information about hotels. I'm also the author of the Hotel Revenue Bible. You can get that book on hotelrevenuebible.com. And we are here to answer all your questions. So if you have any questions, just shoot us a quick text at 321-321-2002. That's 321-321-2002. And you can book a revenue call. Go to hotelrevenuecall.com and we can answer any and all your questions. Just make an appointment with me. You'll do one-on-one with me. You'll be able to do one-on-one with me, and we could go ahead and get all your questions answered and see if you have any revenue issues that needs to be resolved. Talk to you soon. Thank you again. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate you.